Okay, we're going to look at the accessibility features on the iPad with the new iOS 6 upgrade. So you're going to go to Settings, and in Settings, you're going to scroll down, and you're going to go to Accessibility. Now, the iOS 5 upgrade gave you voiceover, zoom, large text, speak selection, speak auto text, and assistive touch, and home click, and the triple click home. Two features that were added in the iOS 6 is under speak selection. If I was going to go there, actually you can now choose the dialect to which you would like the spoken word to be. And you can also here do highlight words. If I turn highlight words on, so highlight words means that the word will be highlighted as it is spoken. So I turn mine on. Let me just demonstrate what I mean. Meaning if I go to a web page, and if I go to CNN, and I bring up a page picture, then if I bring up a story, bad winter storms get names, kids might be interested in that. I'm going to choose the reader because I want that to be easier for the kids to see. So now when I highlight here and I spread it out, it will say speak.
A man in Silver Spring, Maryland, shoveled snow to dig out his car after a blizzard in 2010.
So you can see that each word is highlighted. So it's a pretty cool new feature. Go back to the settings and accessibility. I'm going to go back. The next one that's really cool is what they call guided access. What guided access does, it allows you to lock an individual into a certain app, and it gives you control so they can't get out of that app unless you put in the required passcode, or someone does. So what you do is when you turn guided access on, then you can go in and set the passcode that they would need to enter in order to get out of the app. And then you also enable the screen sleep because that will help save battery life. What you do need to remember before going into guided access, that make sure you have all your volume settings set and everything, because they can't adjust those once they're into the guided access. Obviously you can get back out, but then you'd have to go back in. So instead of having to go toggling back and forth, it's a good idea to have that all set prior to them going into the app. So I'll let you see how this works. So if I go into an app with a child, so say I'm going into a visual memory app, and I'm just going to go to my mosaic, and I want them to stay in this particular app. What I'm going to do is I'm going to triple click my home button, and you'll see that this accessibility options comes up. So now I'm going to say guided access. That comes up. You can see where it says hardware button. That means it's always off. Okay? So you can choose what you want to touch. So you turn touch on or touch off, and you can turn motion on or motion off depending on what kind of app you're using. You can also circle areas on the screen you would like to disable. If there's certain things you don't want them to be able to do, you can disable those. I'm just going to go in basically, so I say start. So now it says guided access started. Therefore now I can do the app. And if I do this here, and I'm going to match the app. So I'm going to do my little mosaic here. And I'm going to go and do my little picture. So say the child decides, I don't want to do this app. Teacher wants me to, but I don't want to. So they could touch the button, the home button, and it tells them guided access is enabled. Can't do it. If they were to triple click, up comes the entered passcode. They don't have a passcode, they can't get out. So they have to stay in the app. But once they do that, you need to then put the passcode in. So now you're back out here, and then you could either go back to resuming guided access. And again, if they touch the home button, it's going to tell them, can't get out of there. I triple click it, enter the passcode. I haven't played with this long enough to know whether it stays on there for a while. But anyway, I enter my code, I'm out, and I end. So there are two new features for the accessibility and the iOS 6 that you might find useful for your students.